In this video, we're going to show you how to install the front shocks on your Jeep Wrangler located behind your front wheels. Using a 19mm socket, go ahead, loosen and remove your lug nuts. Once you remove the lug nuts, remove the wheel and set it aside. There's two bolts on the bottom here. They're 12mm. And we're going to use the wrench on the top side, and we're going to use a 12mm socket on the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that nut. Then we'll remove the bolt. We're going to do the same for the other one here. I'm going to repeat this process for the other side. So we're going to use our 14mm wrench on the nuts on the top here. Now, the top side of the shock assembly, you have the top of the shock stud poking up right here. And we want to go ahead and hold the shock tube because we can turn the whole unit in the bushing. So we want to go ahead and capture that. We're going to use a pair of locking pliers. Now we have our upper one undone. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the lower one. And once we get both of these nuts off, we'll go ahead and slide the shock out. I'm going to go ahead and pop off the first nut here. Reposition this, put our locking pliers back on, and then we'll do the same process for that second bolt. Go ahead and pull the shock out. On the top, where the shock just came out of, don't forget to grab the bushing and the washer from up top. Now go ahead and discard our shock. Now when you receive your shock, you might have this retaining band on here. I'm just going to take a razor blade and we're going to cut this band. And the shock itself will expand out. Now at this point here, what you want to do next is you want to take one of the large washers that is supplied, and you want the dish side to be facing upward. You're going to take your rubber bushing here, and there's going to be one side that has a raised edge and one side smooth. The smooth side goes down. When we install this into the vehicle, the other bushing with the raised edge is going to go down. Then the washer is going to go on top of that, and then we're going to install the lock nuts. Go ahead and feed that up into place. Get that bushing pressed down into place. Here's your other washer with the cup side facing down. Go ahead and install the nut. Now this particular nut is a 16 millimeter. Let's go ahead and tighten this down. Now when securing this here and getting the right tension on it, what you want to do is focus on the bushing down below here. Now this bushing right here, you want to focus on this. As we tighten this down, the bushing is going to expand. And ideally what you want to do is, good rule of thumb, tighten down that nut until this bushing squishes out to the width of that washer. And that is a good general torquing for this unit. You can put your fingers on there, you can feel that bushing expand out. And right there feels pretty comfortable, looks good. Lastly, once you have that in place, you can take the second nut that is supplied, put that on, and this is going to be a lock washer or lock nut. I'm going to spin that down on top of the other nut here. Now in order to lock this properly, you want to hold that lower nut. Take another 16 mil. I have a nice thin 16 mil wrench. And you want to go ahead and tighten this top nut on top of the bottom one. And that'll lock into place. At this point here, we're going to go ahead and use our jack underneath the axle. I'm going to go ahead and lift up the axle up into place. Then go ahead and install the bolts. Then once you have these bolts in here and you have the nuts on a few threads, you can probably remove the jack, but you want to definitely make sure that the nuts are threaded on quite a ways before you do that. I want to go ahead and torque down the lower shock bolts to 21 foot-pounds. Once you're done with this here, you can go ahead and repeat for the other side. Now that we have the shock bolted up, go ahead and lower the jack. Pull that out. Now you can go ahead and install the wheel, take it for road test, and at that point there, you're all set. Get our lug nuts threaded on here. Once we have all these started a few threads, we'll go ahead and snug them down. Go ahead and torque down your lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.